gorgeous gardeners. This is Flora Fauniful, and I am going to show you the week 2 of my tomato plants. Welcome to my garden on a gorgeous, gorgeous day here in the northwest of England. So I'm going to go in order. Here is number 1. I have put down stakes now, and this is a piccolini. It was an F1 hybrid from the grocery store, which I absolutely love. I know I'm not gonna get the same thing, but I wanted to see how their offspring taste. This is a harbinger. This is number 2. This is a heritage plant that I have planted here in the same south facing, or more or less southwest facing part of my garden. So it is 4:30 p.m. or 4:40 p.m. right now, and it's gotten sun most of the day, a little bit in the eastern sun, a little bit now from the western sun, and most certainly during the strongest time of the day. I do have some cucumbers which are really not doing well because one of my cats decides it tastes really good. I have a couple of peppers, and so yeah, this is how I'm growing them here in what I always thought was the sunniest part of my garden. Now this is number 3. It is still just like a tiny little seedling. It is called a super bush tomato. It hasn't been doing anything, but it does get sun in the eastern time and in obviously the west, and for most of the day as well, because it is on the south facing border. Moving over to number 4. This should be the crimson blush. It's getting bigger. It's still quite small. I don't know if you can see the little stakes that I have. If I hold up my hand, you can see it is tiny, but it is still doing quite well. And quite well for me is that it has not died yet. So this is number 5. This is the indeterminate cherry tomato, also southwest facing, or actually south facing, on the south facing wall. But right now it is getting western sun. Along the same wall, this is number 6, and I have lost the, where has the tag gone? But this is number 6, I think. It should be, no. It is another heritage tomato, I'm just going to say. It is subarctic plenty. It's supposed to give you some pretty early fruit. However, from the websites that I have looked at, it's not really that early. But it's supposed to do well in conditions like we have here in the northwest of England, which is rainy and cold. This labeled as number 6. I might have to redo my numbers. No, I don't. I'll just add another one. So this is something I don't know what it is right now, and I will put a comment on the video when I edit it. But it seems to be doing quite well. It's next to a basil plant and some busy lizzies that came up. Not busy lizzies. Whatever they're called, from last winter. Here are my 2 cherry tomatoes. I will give you the names of the Tumbling Bella. These are Tumbling Bella. I got them from a plant place in the spring that deal with patio tomatoes. So, looking forward to those. That's number 7 and 8. Then we go to number 9. This is another piccolini facing west. It really does get some southern sun and some western sun, so it's doing quite well. It's enjoying it there, and it's very wind still just behind the fence. This is number 10. This is another piccolini, again from one of my favorite grocery stores, and I love the taste. This is doing incredibly well. It's not time yet, but I imagine in about 15 minutes it's going to get full sun, and it will be there until about 8 p.m. tonight. So it does get eastern sun as well. As you can see here, this is number 11. Oops. Another piccolini doing incredibly well, getting a little bit of sun right now, and it seems to be doing its job. So I'm extremely pleased with that as well. My supercar, love it. Don't want anything else. Some carrots right here and along the front. And here is my sad little number 12, also a piccolini, just not getting enough sun, so I absolutely know that this is not the place to plant a tomato for next year. However, it does get eastern sun. Here, this, oh, I'm in the way. Let me move over. That is my beefsteak tomato that is getting a lot of nice western sun, and I think next year, or maybe I might move the tomato, the other tomato, the piccolini, right next to it, and so that it gets a little bit more sun. But this is doing extremely well. So we're going to be moving back to the backyard. Sorry for all the tarmac, it's awful, I hate it, and I don't know what to do with it, and so I have a lot of things. That's where number 11 is, or number 10, number 11. So that's actually a north-facing wall, but it gets a lot of western sun, and it seems to be doing well for most plants. I have some beans there, but that's just an aside. So we did number 13. Now let's look for number 14. That's a north-facing wall. So 14, again, is another piccolini, facing west, obviously. Does get south-facing sun as well, but this is like probably the most wind-still area of my garden. I planted it in a trough to see how it goes, and right next door is another piccolini, which is in its a tomato container of its own that I can also water from below. This is number 15. Number 16 is right now in the shade, but this is my Roma, and it's doing well. It's just getting some little flowers on it now. I've planted on both sides next to it. I planted some chamomile. So that's number 16. I have to go back around. And number 17 is the San Marzano. I grew from seed. Doesn't look as strong as the other ones, but I have high hopes for that. And I think it's going to do extremely well here. I've had tomatoes in here as well, and it's sharing a little bit with a pepper. So that's number 17. Number 18, let me get out of the way. Number 18, oh, I can't do it. Number 18 is a heritage variety called Ailsa Craig, and I want to see what I can grow along really a tough area of my garden. It's a tiny little corridor where I keep kind of pots if I don't need them anymore, my water butt as well, and came with the house, but this is a rose bush which seems to be doing pretty well where it's at, and since it's not under cover, I almost wanted to put this one over there, but here it gets eastern and a little bit of southern sun. It starts getting sun at about 2 p.m. and so I think that's probably better. Here it starts getting sun at about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So that was number 18. Number 19, we have to go back. And this is another Ailsa Craig. This is just, I didn't know where else to plant it, to be honest. So I've planted it here along the west side, wind still again, and see how that works. Number 20, I believe, is here. Okay. This is another Ailsa Craig. Like I said, I kind of did an afterthought and I hadn't planted it here. And it's in shade right now at about 4:45 or 5 p.m. And it gets a lot of sun. It gets a lot more sun than I thought it did. I really looked at the sun it does get today, and it's pretty much in full sun until 2 p.m. It gets the eastern sun, it gets the western, it doesn't get the western sun, it gets the south sun, and I think until about 2 or 3 p.m. I think. Really, really, really good. So I'm having high hopes for this one. I have some lettuce in here, some radishes that have gone to seed or gone to flower, but there's so many bees around here, and I'm trying to increase the bee population, so I'm just leaving them as long as I can. On each of the poles here, I have beans and peas. So last but not least is another Ailsa Craig, and this is along the south-facing fence that also gets the west sun, and there's number 9, as you can see. So this is number 21. This is the Ailsa Craig. This is a heritage variety, and I'm looking forward to getting lots of tomatoes because I've heard nothing but good things on the internet about them. I've never tried to grow them before. I've always tried F1s, but they should be pretty good in the climate that we're in right now. Okay, well, that's it from gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Northwest England.